Once you come into my room, I want to show you all my wares. Well, no. Actually, what I want to show you is my book, which, yes, is a real book, published almost a year ago. And here it is. It's called Eddie Made Me Do This. The Beast Arises, 1973 1983. It's a physical book. It comes in two formats. This is the hardcover edition. There's also a paperback edition. And these are not blank pages. This is, as you can see, completely written in color, lots of images, some of them unreleased images. Um, See, it's 336 pages long, full of information. I've been a Maiden fan for 37 years now. I've seen them live 6 times. I've seen them in Europe. I've seen them in South America. I've seen them in North America. And hopefully one day I'll probably go to New Zealand or probably Australia or who knows, Iceland, who knows. As long as they keep traveling and touring, I hope to see them. What I'm doing this video, you may ask. Well, I recently saw someone saying that my promotion, because the book is has been out quite a while, and I talked to some people, and they say, "Oh, I really wanted to buy your book, but I didn't know you're just another fan." And I've written other books written by fans, and I was disappointed. I really didn't know what to expect. I've been following you for a year, thinking about it. Some people think it's a scam because the book is currently being sold at a place that's called Lulu. Lulu prints on demand, so that's important for you to know. But it does have printing facilities all around the world. It has facilities in Europe, it has facilities in the United States, in Canada, and India. I think it also has in Australia. So what this means is once you order the book is going to be printed at a place near to you. What this means is that the shipping costs are low. They have like 5 different types of shipping. The express, which of course gets you the book in something like 5 to 6 business days. There's the normal shipping that takes about like 21 days uh, from the moment you order it to the moment you receive the actual physical book in your hands. Uh, but there's different shipping options. And this also means that you don't pay extra taxes for buying it. Because I know that's been a huge issue lately. Like the book is printed, I don't know, somewhere in Europe, and you live in Great Britain, where Lulu also has shipping printing facilities. So your book doesn't actually most of the times cross borders, and you don't have to pay extra taxes. So whatever the shipping cost is, that's it. You don't pay extra taxes about it. The book, uh, how it was formed. This book. Well, as I said, I became a fan of the band 37 years ago. I started collecting lots of information. Then came the internet, and I collected even more information. But I wasn't sure about, and I started collecting and like organizing all this information I was gathering. Um, Eventually, I did make an ebook, which It seems amazing to think about it, but it was sold like almost 5 years ago, uh, and it was a success. I did enjoy it, and there was a second ebook in the making, which also sold out pretty well. And while I was doing that, I got fans asking me, why don't you put an actual physical book? At first I was a little bit hesitant because I wasn't really sure that my book was going to offer something different. But it turns out it did. But and that's like a personal issue with me. I don't like actually repeating stuff that's already out there. I think that's kind of boring. So I wanted to offer fans, Iron Maiden fans, something very, very different. So what I did, I said, well, I'm gonna put this one out, this book, which actually is the physical version of the second ebook I did. And I said, well, I'm gonna interview people. I'm gonna interview people related to the band or that somehow worked with the band, lived with the band, or had some personal experience with the band. So I tracked down people over Facebook. I was able to contact some persons via the web, via email. I'll travel some places to meet with people. But who are these people? And I'm gonna read because the list is very long, and here's not a complete list of all the people I interviewed. Um, but it's uh, a pretty good list of people. Well, I interviewed Dave Smith, of course, guitarist and friend of Steve Harris, with whom he formed Influence and later on Gypsy Kiss. Paul Sears, who's also a very good friend of Steve Harris, of course. He 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 actually was a drummer in Influence and Gypsy Kiss, and did rehearse with the band that eventually turned out to be Smiler. There's also Dennis Wilcock, that's Keith Wilford, Dave Lights, Bob Hooker, who is a guitarist who auditioned for Iron Maiden in 1979, which has a very cool story. I interviewed Pippa Lang, which of course was a reporter. She's adorable. She was a reviews editor in Metal Hammer, and she was at one time the girlfriend of Dave Murray. There's also, of course, Neil Kay, Dennis Stratton. I have talks with Derek Riggs, Manu da Silva, who of course was a personal friend of Steve Harris and um, was the person in charge of Eddie's Bar in Algarve, Portugal. Uh, well, I actually interviewed also the dancers from the Number of the Beast video. Andy Curran, who's the founder and bassist of Coney Hatch, and who toured with the band with Iron Maiden in 1983. I also interviewed or had talks with one of Steve Harris's first girlfriends, so she actually lived and saw the formation of Influence and Gypsy Kiss. And actually, the only picture that exists from the lineup of Gypsy Kiss is because she took the picture. Well, I have private talks from with Masahiro from Japan. I actually got the chance actually I talked to Doug Sampson also. I had the chance to pass some questions to Bruce Dickinson, to Adrian Smith, and well, I interviewed all these people, and I asked him questions as a fan. I didn't want to ask him the same questions you could probably read in magazines and that's been repeated over the internet over and over and over and over and over and over again. I also had some small talks with Bob Sawyer, the guitarist from Iron Maiden, at the time in 1977 and 1978. Well, and the list just goes on and 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 on. So yeah, that's how the book was formed. Right from the first page, and this edition, this is the 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 edition that I printed to be sure that the book looked nicely. So right from the first page, I don't want to spoil the fun, but right from the first page, you're gonna see images in color. The new edition, which is going to be soon out, and the paperback edition that you can actually buy now on sale, has a very, very different picture on the front, which hasn't been released anywhere else but in my book. I obtained it thanks to a good old friend that sadly passed away, a good old friend of Steve Harris that passed away. So yeah, uh, let's let me show you parts of the book because this book has also the thing that you can actually read it in two different ways. The first way is basically like a normal book. I'm going to show you the chapters or some of the chapters, um, uh, and I'm going to show you some other stuff. Okay, so let's see there, color, and it's fully written. I want to show you. You can actually pause the video and see that yes, it's completely written. You can see that has lots of images, color, full color. Yep, there you go. Yeah, completely written. Lots of information, especially for Maiden fans. And well, let me get back. Yes, I was saying, you can actually read the book as a normal book. See, like here are the chapters, so you can actually read it like any other book. Yeah. But there's also another way you can read the book because it has a very detailed list of the gigs that the band actually played. And how do I know they actually play them? Because this is another thing that also helped me form the book. I currently have like more than 2,000 press clippings from all over the world, from Australia, from Belgium, from Denmark, from Japan, from Brazil, from Mexico, from Sweden, from I don't know. The list goes on and on. Actually, I actually put it in the introduction. Uh, but I digress. I'm gonna read it after I show you the other way you can actually read the book. But let me just put the list here. Ah, okay. So yeah, I was saying the other way to read the book is you actually go to this kind of pages. Sorry, these kind of pages. As you can see, there's a listing of gigs. And as you can see, there are columns, and those columns present, for example, this one, no? November. November from the 1st to the 6th. And it says Clapton Hollywood Studios rehearsals. And then has what I call fun facts. Under this one that I just read, it says Live Plus One EP is released in Japan under Emi Toshiba. Robert Ellis went to one of the rehearsals in November and took pictures of the band in the studio. On the 7th, the band flies to Munich, and the 8th, They are in Munich Slate Studio, which is Adrian's first public appearance with Maiden, because he was performing in this German TV music show named Rock Pop, miming to Running Free and Remember Tomorrow. And on that day, also Women in Uniform, the song enters the UK singles chart at number 52. So what you can do, you can grab the book and read it, as I said, as a normal book, or you can just go and stop in these columns that also offer pictures, and you read what happened on a day by day or almost a day by day basis about what the band was doing. Uh, so yeah, that's that. I don't know. Uh, it's been a huge amount of work. Just the designing phase of the book, which you can see. Um, I don't know. It's. I'm trying. Let me show you. I'm gonna look from some pages. Um, as I said, it's in color. I want to show you another page. Let me see. Yeah, here's like the book looks. Okay. So yeah, there you go. As I said, well, these aren't in color, but some are in color. And here's another example. Yeah. High quality, high resolution, of course. And yeah, so that's how the book was formed. The designing process took like about 7 months. The gathering information, which has been crisscrossed. I mean, uh, for example, Dennis Stratton. I interview him, and when I interview him, I already had gone into research and seen lots of press clippings, and I was cross-referring the information between them. Like, say, I remember when I was growing up, people argue when did the band actually played on the Beat Club in 1981, and people said it was on this day or that date, and actually people said thought that the band actually played on the same day that the program was aired, which isn't true at all. Well, how can I assure you that the date that it's indicated in within the book is the one that actually happened? Well, first I actually contacted the station, the TV station where it was recorded. And after that, I also went, and since the show was recorded in Germany, I actually tried to find out some magazines from that era or some press clippings that mention if the band where when did the band visit the show. So I can assure you that another thing that is important. I actually have gathered some personal documents from the band, which I won't release ever because that was part of the deal. Uh, but you can find some of these tour itineraries or stuff like that on eBay and places like that. So, well, after I contacted Radio Bremen Studios, where the show was filmed, I wanted to have more information about it. And yes, I gathered some press clippings from Germany. So I can assure you that the show was recorded on January 22nd. And this is another example of how the book was formed. After I gathered all these press clippings and I crisscrossed the information, and I talked with people who actually were there or knew the band or worked with the band. Some of them are not mentioned in the book because they asked me not to. But whatever is within the book uh, happened. and it's almost completely double and in some cases triple checked. Most of the information I said in the book, which also has been, especially with concerts, some of the early ones actually also, it's been double and triple checked. So when I say something happened, uh, I'm I will say I'm 98% sure that what I say it's true. I tell you where it was. I tell you who was there. I tell you what songs were played there. I mentioned even secret gigs that um, there are not known in other places. Uh, they're mentioned here. For example, the actual first show Nico played right before the start of the World Peace Tour uh, is mentioned here. I know the set list because it was told for, by someone who was there. And so, yeah, my book, that's the difference. My book, although I did uh, wrote it, I wrote it thanks to the help of many people who actually helped form uh, and help the band Iron Maiden be what it is today. So there it is. There it goes. I'm gonna post this video, which I hope you like it. And if you have any comments, any questions, I gladly respond them. I also have two private Facebook groups for those people who buy the book, who want to know more about the band. The first one on Facebook is called True Story of the Beast. Um, and the second one it's made in the media. In the first group, what I try to post, not daily, what I try to post is information that you won't commonly see on other Facebook groups. It's not this typical thing about their anniversary of blah 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 blah. Although sometimes I do comment things on anniversaries of releases, but I post like these small trivia issues about it that are not commonly known. And in the media and the media, I share from Monday to Friday uh, a scan of my huge collection of press clippings. So in some cases, you can actually read from where the information came, from where the information that's mentioned in the book came, and of course, more interviews. You can see more pictures that weren't printed in the book because of space, because of design issues. So yeah, when I make a claim, I almost always can back it up, and it's available for the fans who buy it. So there's no surprises there. As I said, hope you buy the book. Hope you enjoy it. So far, those people who have bought it um, loved it. I have a small community in the Facebook groups, which also enjoy the information, the extra information I can give them. And well, hopefully you will buy it. Hopefully we'll meet on the road, whether it's in the current tour or hopefully on the next tours. Probably on British Lion tours or Bruce Dickinson Soul tours, which I'm very much looking forward. And that's it. So up the irons, and yeah, there's a plane. Remember, Eddie made me do it. The beast arises. A real book of the Irons.